podcast and take this walk with me.
Welcome back to the Three Parallels podcast with your host, the Brother Dr. Jason Branch, where we rediscover who we were, we embrace who we are, and we make room for who we're trying to become. If that is you, you are in the best place ever at this time. And this episode is designed specifically for you. Yo ass. First name yo, last name ass. So, as we moving into 2026, we are marching forward because this episode is coming to you at the beginning of March, although we recorded it way back when. And how we connected, meaning the guest that I'm having on the show. I am so glad you asked because we're coming to you live from Battlecast Studios. And where's Battlecast Studios? It's in Instagram headquarters because that's where we met. Not literally Instagram headquarters, but I saw this breath of light and energy when I was scrolling. And it
Oh,
was this woman who was just sharing life and healing and experiencing and authenticity and expression and care and love. And I'm like, yo, who are you talking to? I want some. I don't know
oh,
who
I
this is. I don't know what this is
appreciate
about,
that.
but I want some. And instantly I hopped in the DMs. Hey, I don't know you from shit, but what you giving out, I want to share with my listeners. Would you like
Oh,
to be on the podcast? And she said, done. Ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen, here we are now.
Here
Now,
we
that's just the backstory. Let me tell you the current story, who I'm bringing to the table, who I'm bringing to the bottom of the sea at the bar on the
Mhm.
Titanic. Like, that's how we starting.
Oh, that's a cool place to
we,
be.
we're starting here. So we left
Yes.
Instagram studios. Now we in Titanic, okay? Who I'm talking about. This woman is the jack of all trades. She's a healer, she's a helper, she's a therapist, she's an author, she's a friend, she's a
Oh,
partner, she's a person, she's into psychedelic assisted therapy, she's into wellness, EMDR. She does everything on a creative and energetic level, and that's what landed us together. I've never been in the same room with this person. We just exchange our voices today. This was our first meeting. We didn't even touch each other's skin. And I need y'all to see what's about to happen organically because we didn't prep before this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, and those in between, I am bringing to you the one, the only Annalise Oakman. Welcome to the show.
oh, thank you, Dr. Branch. Should I call you Dr.
You
Branch?
can call
Should
me
I?
whatever you can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me broke. So
I
let's
always say you
go.
could call me anything that starts with an A as long as it's not asshole. Can I
I'm
say
with
that?
that. Yeah, you can say that. You can say whatever you want. This season three, we marching forward. It is the month of March, and I don't know what's gonna happen, y'all. So this is how we're starting this season. We're finishing off the first quarter, and why not start with some leveling up, meaning evolving to places and spaces we could have never gone without exposure. So you
Yeah.
are a person who exposes people, places, and things to you and the energy you give. So I'm
Mm.
curious, the listeners are curious. Who are you and what are you doing?
Good question. Who am I? Um, it feels so good to receive and to hear your introduction, sincerely. And I can feel the good energy too, and just knowing and hearing that you feel good energy from me just feels like such an honor right now. So I just want to say that, and I'm excited to kind of bounce the good vibes back and forth and see what
Yes, yes,
happens.
yes,
So,
indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, you are welcome for your flowers. Thanks for accepting them. That's what this show
uh,
is about as well. We need them. All of us do.
yeah, yeah. Ugh, who am I? What am I doing? Well, there's so many things I could say about that. On paper, I'm a licensed psychotherapist. I do psychedelic therapy, which has become quickly my favorite thing that I do that doesn't feel like work.
Mhm.
So I feel so sincerely blessed that that is part of my calling. I'm a writer. I've written a couple books, best-selling book called Heal Your Witch Wound, written with really everyone in mind. It's about a feminine path of descent, but it's not like gender specific. I really think of the feminine as a great magnitude and an archetype that belongs to all of us.
Mhm.
Um, so writer. I really think of myself as a multidisciplinary artist. I'm designing an album cover right now for
Mm.
my husband's band. So it's yeah, it's I really think of it as art, you know, like I think of the healing work that I do as a form of imminent public art making, and even what you and I are doing right now. We don't know where this is going to go. And when you said that at the start of this conversation, I was like, oh, that's what art is. That's the creative process. That's everything I do. I'm constantly walking through the unknown and
Mhm.
creating. So, with people. So that's
Yeah.
my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm
Um,
curious, this place and space that you're in, I'm thankful to be a part of it now. I'm a part of your collective now. We family now. You stuck with me.
yes,
You ain't even know that. Like, you know,
yes.
I've been adopted by you. I signed the papers, everything. So,
Oh, yes, I'm in. I'm in.
so this, from my perspective, this world that you live in and that you share to me is beyond the role, the job, the position, the title, the degree. How did you, number one, get into the profession? And then number two, to enhance yourself within it by stepping outside of it? Pretty loaded, but I'm
Mm,
curious to know both.
that's a great question. I really appreciate that. How did I get into it and how did I start stepping beyond it? Um, well, I studied philosophy after high school, and that's kind of like, what are you going to do with that? And I knew that I didn't want to be a philosophy professor. And I went through this kind of lost phase after college where I was working different minimum wage jobs, didn't know really what I wanted to do. I was thinking about art school and I got a partial scholarship to art school, but they wanted me to start like at the beginning level. And I was like, I don't know if that's what I want to do either. So, um, my dad is this kind of baby boomer flower child type of guy. So he had all these old books from the 60s and 70s, like a lot of Buddhism books and spiritual books, Alan Watts, Suzuki Roshi, other spiritual teachers. And so I started reading those, and I noticed that the thread through all these lineages and all these teachers was service, and service as the highest expression of spirituality. So there are so many ways that we can be spiritual or express spirituality. But if you don't have service and love and kindness at the center, then it's
Mm-hmm.
just decor, you know?
Yeah.
It's that needs to be the heart. So I was like, how can I um how can I basically dedicate myself to service? So and then I had this kind of uncanny spiritual experience at the time where I saw this light being coming into my room. We're gonna get weird. I'm like I'm
No, hold,
questioning
hold
whether
a
I
quick, whoa,
should
whoa,
say
time
this
out, time out,
part.
time out. We gotta take a pause. We gotta take a pause.
Yeah,
We're
let's
gonna
just take a
we're gonna
breath.
bend this left real quick because I already knew, Annalise. I knew what you was gonna bring. I told you we in the Titanic, okay? All these bodies around us, and we here talking, just me and you.
And we're just at the
So,
bar
and we're just at the bar. There's a whole
with the violins.
okay with with the violins. We are family. We are family. Okay, let's take a pause because you again, we just met. We just met. So I got to
Yeah.
establish some protocol, but it's not really protocol. I want to establish the beat. So for me, and I want to introduce you to these concepts. For me, there's a beach and there's the sandbox. The sandbox is exactly what we're talking about as far as professionalism, degrees, laws, rules, things that humans made to make them comfortable. And then you got the beach, which is just life. It's just this abundance. And this podcast represents the beach. So that means you can go anywhere you want because in order to get to the Titanic, you start at the beach. And some people haven't even left the parking lot yet. So this ain't for everybody. This for those who can go deep and
Yes,
those who aren't able to know
yes,
that deepness exists. So,
yes.
with that said, you can say whatever you want on this show and can't
Cool.
nobody censor me because ain't no censorship. Fuck that. Three
Yeah.
parallels, baby.
I love it.
Let's
I
go.
want you to invite me back.
Let's
This was
go.
fun.
Can't nobody bite you. You unbiteable. We in the Titanic. Sharks ain't down there. Ain't even no fish down there.
And
Okay, I'm
wow,
sorry. I'm
what
sorry.
if we could breathe
I'm,
underwater?
we
Anyway,
can. We are right now. I need to know where we at. So for those listening, pull over, grab a chair, meet us at the bar at the Titanic. This is where we
yes,
start. I have no idea where we're going to end up. So that
yes,
means, Annalise, be you, especially on
yes,
this show. Share it.
yeah, yeah. So this is the
And
truth.
that's part one. Part two, we are no longer allowed to criticize our greatness. I've never
Mm,
heard weird be a compliment in any shape, form, or fashion. So
yes,
therefore, Annalise, on this show, whatever it is that you do, this is what you do. There's no judgment, shame, or guilt around it. Just want to
yes,
make sure we're on the same page.
yes, we
So
are. Yeah.
you
And
were
I
saying,
and I think I'm ready, because I used to be, and I am still a very scientifically minded person, and I have the clinical training and evidence-based practices and things like that. But uh, if you were to have like a fireside chat with 99.999% of humans who've ever lived, maybe, after they've had a couple drinks, I'm not advocating for drinking or whatever. I actually don't drink hardly at all anymore, but they will tell you they've had a strange experience at some point.
mm-hmm,
Something uncanny, something related to the supernatural, or what would be called the paranormal. So
wow,
I know that those things happen, and I'm no longer I don't really care if anyone is going to judge me for talking about it. So I used to, but anyway, I had this experience of being in kind of a half awake, half asleep state, and this being of such high vibrational light came into the room that it was like it was a vibration that was beyond anything I've ever experienced in this world. So high frequency. Um, and came towards me, and it looked like there could be a human shape somewhere in that light, but it was so bright that it was just light in a semi-human shape. And it conveyed to me not to be afraid
mm-hmm,
and just touched my head, and I woke up.
yeah,
And I still don't know what that was, and I've tried to say like, oh, that was an angel, or that was a light being, or that was, Mary, or that was, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm open to the possibilities. I like to allow room for mystery around these kinds of experiences. Like, yes, maybe it was an angel, maybe it was an ascended master. I don't know.
yeah,
Um, but at the time, I have a Catholic upbringing background, and so I was thinking Mary for some reason.
mm-hmm,
And I went to the esoteric section of the local Barnes and Noble bookstore, and I found all these Doreen Virtue books,
mm-hmm,
who at the time she was kind of this angel therapy lady.
mm-hmm,
And so I saw her books, and I saw that she'd written a book about Mary, and I saw that she was like a psychologist in private practice who writes books about angels. And I wanted to understand the experience I read, so I wanted to pick up and buy one of the books, but I looked at her bio and I was like, I could get behind that life. Like if I need
mm,
to choose a life of service, I like that. Being in private practice and writing books, that's somehow that feels right.
yeah,
So I got on track to become a licensed clinical social worker as quickly as possible and start working with people and getting licensed in a nonprofit agency, working with kids and teenagers in the foster care system. Um, but then I got licensed, got into my private practice, and always had this nagging intuition that it was a beautiful and legitimate foundation that I had, but but the Western clinical world is a relatively very young world. It's only about 100, 150 years old. And
Hold on, time round, time out, time.
do you
Keep
take another
loading up.
break?
Keep loading up. Keep loading. I need to prepare the audience. I need to prepare the listeners. This is the time to get your notebook. This is the time to really key
Mm,
in, turn the volume
mm,
up, stop whatever it is you're doing. You ironing, you washing clothes, you doing this. Stop. Okay. I really need you to take in what's about to happen because we're about to go on an experience together, especially for
mm,
those who are therapists, becoming therapist students. This is
mm,
your breadcrumb. Okay. So,
mhm.
Annalise, you done loaded up, empty the clip.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not a very old profession when you look at the world's great medicine and healing traditions and medicine systems. It's very young. And I think it is, what's the best way to say this? It's kind of an awkward frame to be in some ways, especially if you're like a naturally intuitive person, intuitive healer. Like I know there's so many gifted healers and intuitives who do not have clinical training or background and who are just brilliant and doing powerful work because that's their calling and that's their gift. And that is bigger than a clinical framework. So I don't want to like delegitimize having a clinical framework or background because that is, there's definitely a time and place for that. And it definitely does have its value, especially in, um, well, I'm going to back up. I feel like the Western medicine world is really good with trauma and things that need immediate attention, but especially physical trauma. I feel like that's where it shines. But there are so many beautiful ancient healing traditions that are preventive, that allow for the transpersonal with ease, and that bring in every single layer of the human being with ease, that are not just working with the cognitive. So I ended up going through some major life transitions, and kind of things falling apart in my personal life. Just after COVID. And that led to me becoming initiated in an ancient lineage of shamanic energy medicine, and also traveling to Peru to sit in ayahuasca ceremonies with Shipibo medicine people. And maybe sit isn't the right word, to like lie and be in. I wasn't actually sitting. You sit when
Mm-hmm.
they come and sing to you.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, you're like lying there. Um, so I did that and I was like, how do I help people heal on this level, like in
Mm.
sacred space
Yeah.
where every single layer of their being is engaged and it's so powerful. So I decided to get trained in psychedelic assisted therapy at Integrative Psychiatry Institute because I was like, all right, that's how I can bring it into the Western clinical framework that I'm working with.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, and I'm still, I mean, to answer your question even more thoroughly in terms of like where I am now and where things might go from here, I'm still stepping beyond the clinical frame and I don't know where it's going to take me. I mean, for
Mm.
now, just being in psychedelic space with my people, my like when I'm doing psychedelic work with people, it almost doesn't even feel right to call them clients. Sometimes I call them participants,
Yeah.
just my people, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I'm in psychedelic space with them, it is sacred.
Mm.
That's the best word I can think of. And
Yeah.
there's a field of love that is created, like love with a
Mm.
capital L,
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
and I think that it ripples out and um it's the only thing I have yet found in the Western clinical world where that happens so reliably. I'm not saying it doesn't happen outside of psychedelics. I think it does. I think there are absolutely transpersonal and transcendent moments that happen in healing containers, like no matter what lineage, no matter what tradition you're working with. And I just had it happen with a client the other day. Just sometimes there's just grace that comes into the room, and it's felt palpably. So you don't need psychedelics for that, don't get me wrong, but it's the most surefire way that I've yet encountered. So I could keep talking about it, but
This, thank you. You answered that question beautifully. You just took us
okay.
on a ride, a journey, an experience because there's so many levels and layers to all you share. And I appreciate you for being thorough in sharing your truth because you just exposed a lot of people to a lot of different worlds, experiences,
Yeah.
opportunities that they could have never had without this conversation. So
Yeah.
that was everything. And it speaks to so many different types of people. And now I want to go deeper in there because we can leave the bar. I want to go down to this engine room, go down this engine room, uh, and go in here for a minute. And in the engine room, I'm curious about if you could go into your professor mode, teaching mode, because that's who you are as well, healing mode. If you were to introduce someone to this experience that you had with ayahuasca from, who you were, who you are, who you're becoming, how
Mm,
would you share, your experience as well as what someone could experience? If you could take us on that journey in the engine room,
mm,
I would love to hear it.
mm. Like my experience with ayahuasca?
If you're willing to share, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure. Hmm. Yeah, again, where do I start? I mean, it was such a vast experience, because there's a lot of preparation that goes
Mm,
into it beforehand. And then in terms of lifestyle, and you start the dieta before you even leave. And then there's the travel to get down to Peru. And I went to Temple of the Way of Light,
mhm.
which sounds like a cult, but it's not. Spoken like a true cult member. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, no judgment, no shame, no guilt, okay?
No, it's a good place. It's a really good place, and I really did my homework to try to find a very legitimate, very ethical place, a very authentic place. And I think Gabor Mate, if you're familiar, if your listeners are familiar, had been to the same retreat center not long before I went there. So I was like, okay, that's a good enough endorsement
Mm,
for
mm.
me. I
Yeah.
love Gabor. So I flew to Lima, then to Iquitos, which is a city that's really kind of swallowed up by dense jungle, rainforest. And from Iquitos, you take a bus down to the mouth of a river, and then you get on a boat and you go way up the river, deep, deep, deep into the jungle. You disembark, and then you start trekking through like knee-deep mud
Wow.
with
Wow.
blue butterflies the size of dinner plates flying
Wow.
by.
Wow.
Yeah, the first time I saw one, I was like, holy shit, we're not in Kansas anymore. Um, so there's a big trek to get way deep into the jungle, and I feel like I'm sharing all of those details of the logistical details of getting there because I feel like that was such an important part of the experience. I came to know ayahuasca as um, an entity and a process that is deeply embedded in a certain ecological and cultural context
Mm,
and not separate from that context.
yeah. Yeah.
It's woven in. So it's
Mm,
almost like when you're having a dialogue with ayahuasca, when you're with the medicine, you're having a dialogue with the rainforest,
mm,
with nature. And um I feel like it's important to convey at this point how deeply sacred and holy the experience is and how important it is to approach it with reverence, as a very sacred experience, and the Shipibo medicine system has kind of, what's the best way to say this? They've been doing this for thousands of years.
Mhm.
So there's a reason for every single part of the way that you're approaching the medicine within a Shipibo context,
And could you
including the
explain?
diet.
Could you explain Shipibo? Like this is for those who may not have heard any of these
Oh
people.
yeah, yeah. So the Shipibo Kanibo people are an indigenous group who live in the jungle of Peru, up in kind of northern Peru. So it's geographically, there's like a lot of jungle and rainforest up there at the top of Peru, and then as you keep going down, you get into the mountains and the Andes. So they're up in the rainforest. And they've been working with ayahuasca for thousands of years. And I believe they are not the only indigenous group who has worked with ayahuasca, but they are, um, I think they have the medicine system that is most well known for working with ayahuasca and kind of the most thorough medicine
Yeah,
system
gotcha.
for that.
Curious with because I like the details too. Did you go by yourself? Did you go with a crew, a family, a
I went
collective?
alone.
Whoa,
I
hold
just
on,
went
time out. Whoa,
alone.
hold on, time out, time out, time out, time out. Wait a minute, because we finna go somewhere else. We're finna go
Yeah.
somewhere else, and this may be controversial, but that's what makes this show what this show is. I share things that I think, and you can do whatever you want to do with them. Because we're about to leave the engine room, take a sharp left real quick, and we finna go to a parking deck, and it's dark, and we're on a third floor, and you got your keys in hand, walking to your car. Most women would freak out just on that story alone.
Yeah.
Compare that to going to Peru, northern Peru, in this whole nother country, off the
Uh,
grid, with this whole nother tribe, community, indigenous. What, Annalise? How? How? As a woman, because I don't know that life. I don't know parking deck vibe life. I don't know that life.
yeah.
But a lot of women do and never experienced it because in their mind it's worse than reality. Anyway, it does happen. It does happen. However, the fear prevents it from ever happening because you never go. My point is, you overcame that truth to go to
Mm,
Peru and experience what you experienced.
mm,
How? How?
how? Oh. Oh.
That's loaded. That's a baked
Yeah.
potato, a sour cream, chives, cheese, a whole ribeye, T-bone, a tub of sour cream.
Ooh,
Listen, it's loaded.
wow. How?
Because this is your norm. Annalise, this is your norm. This is not the norm. There's people that listen to
Mm.
this show right now who's never gone to a movie by themselves.
Oh, wow.
You in
Yeah.
Peru. Come on. There's people on this show, me
Yeah.
included, that don't park in parking decks at all. Would not park down a street, won't go down a dead end. This is here,
Yeah.
local. You're in
Yeah.
Peru, Annalise. I need you to see how deep we
Way
are.
deep down out there. Yeah.
Exactly. Now you understand how far
Way out
how
there.
far exactly.
Yeah, it was
So
kind of
that
scary. Yeah, yeah.
and you did it anyway.
Yeah.
How?
You do it
Again, I'm
scared.
curious.
Do it scared. I love that
Do it
quote.
scared. Do it
Yeah,
scared. Wow.
that's part of it. But yeah, how did I do it?
Let me
Well,
ask this. Let me go back. I want to go because we're in the basement. We're in the parking deck, bottom floor, second floor. Not that scary. It's still dark though. Did you ever as a woman, did you ever have that fear of the darkness in the parking deck and random men stuff like that? Was that a fear or no?
um, honestly, not too much
Okay, okay,
for
okay.
that experience because I knew that I wasn't going to venture really far beyond just what that experience asked of me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna get off the plane, stay in Lima. I'm gonna immediately go to Iquitos. I'm gonna sleep there, and I'm gonna meet up with some people who are getting on a bus with me to go out to this place in the middle of the jungle. Um, and I knew that those people were probably spiritual people. I knew it was going to be a diverse blend of people of all genders, and I don't know. Yeah, I was like,
So it sounds like two things, like trust within yourself, within other people, and safety within yourself and other people because of what y'all
yeah.
are going to do. Is that
Yes,
valid?
yes. I thought anyone who's on this journey with me is a spiritual seeker, a very sincere
Gotcha.
spiritual seeker. And I knew also that part of the dieta was to abstain from any kind of sexual anything. Like
Uh-huh.
you can't even masturbate.
Mm-hmm.
So they want you to contain all of that energy within yourself. Any sexual energy or whatever gets contained, and then
Mm-hmm.
that energy then works with ayahuasca. So you don't want to
Wow.
be spreading it out. It's contained.
Wow.
So, and
Wow.
there's rules at the retreat, like
Yeah.
no one is supposed to be engaging in anything like that. So no one's looking for, like, it's not a dating resort or anything. You know what I mean? Like,
You ain't come here for that. You did not
yeah,
come here
yeah.
for that.
Yeah. And no one, at least on paper, no one came there for that. And no one's, th supposed to be thinking about, I mean, we're humans, so people
Yeah.
think about
Yeah.
things, um, but yeah, so I knew that's
Yeah.
not what that place is about, and I trust
Gotcha.
that people are sincere seekers there. So I trust I'll be safe. And I think also somewhere along the way, maybe this is part of it too. I've learned that if I'm letting love lead,
Mm. Ooh.
I'll probably be okay
Oh
if I'm
man.
following that voice
Yes.
of
Oh.
my heart.
Whew. Annalise, you are a blessing. Okay. You giving me
Oh,
life. You're giving me life because you're
oh, I hope
speaking
so.
on these concepts like moving in love. That's a healed soul.
Yeah.
Because I'm moving in a direction that I want, that I value, that I appreciate, that gives me life. I'm not
Yes.
worried, I'm not stressed. So this explains the trust and the safety that you have within yourself and other people, which is a beautiful
Yes.
thing. And that requires healing. It's
Yeah.
required. You can't just show up in this way. And I feel as though all of the healing that you have and even what you're experiencing now are the results of all the versions of you that you used to be to become
Yeah.
her, which is who you are now. And
Yeah.
knowing the other her, HER, all caps, no blue hat, you're on your way to her as well. So,
Yeah.
with all that, two more things related to this ayahuasca because I've we've never talked about this in this much depth on this show. So this
Mm,
is a gift.
okay.
Yeah, and it just happened
Cool.
organically because I expect that I'll be the first black male therapist, coach, psychedelic assisted therapist ever. I'm the goat at it. I already know that now. So this conversation confirms if I'm talking
Mm,
to the goat, I might as well be the goat myself because I don't know any black folks. Me personally specific, I don't know any black folks, black men especially, um, that
mm.
do this or that offer this and that offer it the way that I would.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm going to create it.
Yes.
And you just validated that for me. So thank you.
Oh my God, you're
Yeah,
so welcome. It's
thank you.
such an
Thank you.
honor.
Yeah,
And that's such important work. We need
yeah,
you. We need you
absolutely.
in psychedelic
Yeah.
spaces.
Yeah. So
$1000%.
this is so good. I mean, it's just coming together. This is why we connected. This makes sense. Destination helper, on both ends.
Yeah.
So two more questions because we can be here for the next 3 hours. I know us. So I know us. So how would someone go into experiencing ayahuasca? Is it just like, one day, I just wake up, I want to do ayahuasca, or do you start with cigarettes and then you go up there? Do you start with what is it a start?
The
I'm gonna
gateway.
start with cigarettes and then I'm gonna go to weed, then I'm gonna go a little coke, a little crack. Like how
And it just gets more hardcore from
somebody like
here.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I know Brett Favre done it a few times. So me and Brett probably do it here and there, but I haven't. So I want to, I will, but I haven't. So for somebody who doesn't know, again, somebody who never went to lunch by themselves, yes, I'm talking about you. if that person can't even go to lunch by themselves to go to Peru, what steps does it take? What do you have to begin investing in or experiencing to evolve to someone who can experience that full journey that you had?
Oh, to experience ayahuasca or to let
Yeah,
love
like where do
or
you
all of the
start?
above?
Yeah, whatever you want, like
Hmm.
in 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. To
Or
experience ayahuasca. I
yeah.
I think I think if you're called to it, you know.
Mm.
It's not for everybody.
Oh, oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's so beautiful. We are all throughout this Titanic. Like we in
Yes,
every
we're visiting all the
we're
rooms.
everywhere. Oh,
Wow. Is this the
oh,
Jack and Rose Titanic?
all day long. But we ain't finna drown on a piece of wood because we fly. We just visiting. We don't live here. We're visiting. It's cold, Jack. It's cold. Listen, we ain't doing that. We stay hot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a warm Titanic. How about
It's
that?
warm. Listen, it's cozy over here. We got a snuggie
Oh,
on.
Jack, it's
Put it.
warm.
It's warm, right? We
It's
sitting on the
warm here.
couch. There's water and fish and dead bodies all around us, but you and I, we are safe. We are safe. We
Oh,
down here on this couch living life. So does is therapy a part of this? Like somebody, if you never experienced therapy, you probably can't experience ayahuasca. Like, is there a correlation? Is there a connection? Because I agree with you with the how young the profession is in the Western culture related to this, where yes, it's needed and necessary. It's a great thing, and there's more. So, do you
Yeah.
have to experience that in order to experience this? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that doing some personal growth work beforehand is always a plus. Never hurts. And that could be therapy, that could be, working with a somatic practitioner of any kind. Um, I think in your heart of hearts, one, if it's meant for you at some point,
Yeah.
and if you feel like you would like to do some more work to be ready. You know that in your heart of hearts too,
Yeah.
and you can trust that.
Yeah.
Um, so again, it's not for everybody, and I
Hmm.
think if that's you and you're listening, you probably know that also in your heart. So listen to that. But for example, I knew it was meant for me at some point, and so it was kind of in my field, kind of circling back around. And one year I would think about it again, and I'd be like, ah, maybe this isn't the year. But then one year it was the year.
Yeah.
But as I was in those stages of thinking about it, I did feel like I had some more therapy work to do to
Yeah.
really get to a certain level of stability or self-knowledge
Hmm.
before I could do it. And I would recommend that. It doesn't, it, therapy is a great tool for that. Um, Again, does not have to be therapy, and you know what you're called towards
Yeah.
to heal yourself, so you can trust that.
Okay. All right. So,
And yeah.
last question before we go upstairs to the kitchen because I want you to cook.
Yeah,
All
let's go
right.
to the kitchen.
So, before we go to the kitchen, last thing while we down here,
Sounds
uh,
bitchin'.
I'm curious now. Number one, I want to respect the secrecy and sacredness of your journey.
Oh,
And I would love for people to get a peek inside the window of before, during, after, you know, three
mm,
parallels, who you were, who you are, who you're becoming. Because that
yeah.
experience, I'm sure, changed your life. It created a pivot, and you
Mm,
can never be who you once were. So if you
yeah.
could share whatever, however you want related to those three parallels from that journey that you had.
Yeah, who I was before, during, and after. Yeah. Um, Before, hmm, I had gone through a really hard breakup, and My therapy private practice became fully remote during COVID. And so suddenly I found myself without any material reason to be anywhere in particular. So I kind of just started traveling and nomading. Um, and that's where I was before. And I knew that I needed some kind of ceremony. Like I knew that I was on a major life threshold. And I was at an age in my early to mid 30s where most women are getting married or becoming mothers, and that wasn't happening for me. So I felt that I was on an archetypal threshold into capital M motherhood or whatever that was would end up being for me. And I needed a ceremony. And I chose this kind of ceremony because it had been in my field for a long time, so to speak. It had been something I was aware of and had been thinking about for a long time. While I'm in it, I used the phrase with one of my friends that I was like caterpillar soup. You know how when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon and then they just melt into
Mhm.
this soup? It's actually a
Yes,
really
indeed.
weird process. I don't know if you know about it. Um,
Yes, this is you talking about salamanders. Salamanders and gators, same deal. Butterflies. We on the same page. I told you we
yes, yes.
family.
So I was caterpillar soup. I did not know who I was or where I was supposed to be or with whom, and I was just melting, and self-concept melting. And I think that was the perfect place for me to be anyway, and that's something that a psychedelic space facilitates very well.
Mhm.
Um, so are we going, do we have 3 more minutes or 13 more minutes?
Okay, great question. We got 13, and if
We've
we
got
need to
13.
go
Okay,
over,
okay.
if we need to go
I'm
over,
like,
we
should I get
can.
this
So we
long or
start,
short?
and you're good, Maestro. We're gonna cut this out. So you're
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
good.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
good. So yeah, we got 13. I do have a couple kitchen questions, and I know we can go, and then I do have
Yeah, yeah.
space for you to share product services, and if you're taking new clients, the whole nine.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, so while I'm in it, um, hmm, as one of the shamans said, he said, if you want to see a light show, go to the movies. Because
Mm,
that's you're gonna see things on ayahuasca. You're gonna have so many visions of different, just wild visions sometimes. Sometimes there's
yeah.
not so many, but you're gonna probably see things. But that's, he said, that's not the point. The point is
Mhm,
what happens in the deeper layers of the emotional body and the heart.
mhm.
And that was the medicine that I received and that I took away. And I did see all kinds of things, that I could just tell you about. And I feel like sometimes people want to know, like, oh, did you see snakes growing out of people's heads? And, like, yeah, I did. I did see that.
Since you asked,
I
since you
did
asked, I
actually.
did.
But that was just a minor detail compared to um what happened in my heart and what
Yeah.
happened in the deepest layers of my being, and my understanding that my true nature is love, and
Mm,
and that is our true nature.
yeah.
And so I walked away with that beautiful conviction, which
Mm,
before had just been a nice idea that I
yeah.
wasn't sure I fully believed.
Yeah.
Um, Thinking, okay, now all my problems in my life are just going to be solved. It's not usually so easy. Usually with psychedelic experiences, no matter what kind of psychedelic series you just did, the most important work is in integration.
Mm,
And I think it's a really appealing fantasy that there's some magic medicine you can take and then immediately you're happy forever and everything's easy forever. That would be really nice. And I think it's a universal human fantasy. It's an interesting one. Um, and it gets projected onto psychedelics a lot. But
mhm,
what I found actually was that my old patterns didn't immediately dissolve. Rather, they got louder while they were on their way out. So I
mm,
had to go through a period of a couple years at least of really seeing my shitty patterns.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
patterns that were tripping me up and that were harming me.
Yeah.
Um, and actually going back into them and having kind of a final hurrah,
Hmm.
with like a self-harming relationship with alcohol, a self-harming relationship with men who were not really valuing or seeing me.
Hmm.
Um, and I had to go back in there and get hurt with those patterns again and again. I kind of went into a tumble cycle with those. And I kept doing integration. I had a great integration counselor, saw her for like two, on and off for, I want to say at least 3 years.
Hmm.
So that
Hmm.
was the work for me, was
Yeah.
integration.
Gotcha.
Um, and I can honestly say now, God, at least four, oh my God, time is kind of contorting. At least 4 years since
Hmm.
the actual ceremonies,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
patterns have dramatically transformed. But
Wow.
it didn't happen immediately. You
Hmm.
have to do the integration because
Yeah.
otherwise it becomes this hugely expanded state that your nervous system went into once,
Hmm.
and then that just fades into more and more distant memory. Your nervous system needs to keep returning to that and going into little expansions in your daily life and applying whatever that gift was that you received in service in your day-to-day life. That's where the rubber meets the road.
Well
So,
said. So well said. So well said. Three parallels all day long. Okay. We've been three parallels all day long. Who we were, who we are, who we're becoming. I appreciate you so much for just sharing
oh,
you, just giving of you. And I want to
thank
close up what we opened up because I'm really big into energies as much as you are. And I don't
you.
like
Yeah.
to leave doors open. I don't like to leave just this stuff out. So we're going to close it back up literally,
Yeah.
figuratively, emotionally, spiritually by closing all the doors, locking them up because everybody doesn't have access. Everyone doesn't deserve, in my humble opinion, desire. So I want to protect the space. I want to protect us
Mm,
in it because we really allowed ourselves to go places that uh, spiritually we were moved and led to go. So now I want
mm.
to close it up to go back to the kitchen because it's hot up there. You know, we left this warm, comfortable place. Now we finna go upstairs where it gets hot before we hit the top of the deck because we finna get off this boat. Ooh, wee!
We're gonna make it onto one of the lifeboats.
Done. And it's warm. Actually, the lifeboat is a yacht. And there's that.
Oh, good. With a pool.
With a pool, it's enclosed. We got champagne, we got water, we got tea, we got
And
vibing,
a
we got a little
jacuzzi.
ayahuasca, jacuzzi, we got Newports,
Yes.
we got everything. So before we go there, let's cook a little bit. So closing that space, and thank you so much for your vulnerability, your humility, your honesty, your integrity, your truth. You know, your healing. Like you don't have to share that. You know, you don't have to share any of it. And it's a gift that you did, and I'm appreciative of you
Mhm.
doing it because I know there's at least one person that life will change because of what they heard from this episode. I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard, not
Oh.
what I heard, and you
Hmm.
may find out who that person is. They may let you know. I'm telling you what
Wow.
I know. Because in order for them to let you know, they need your info. So, in the kitchen where we cooking, you do a lot. You do a lot. Okay. You got pots and pans, you baking, you got the chef hat on, the apron, you got seasoning, spicing, all these things. And there's people that want to cook with you. How can people connect with you?
Yeah. Yeah. How can people connect with me? Let's see. My Instagram at Anna Lee Lawless. I'm there. You can also go to my therapy website, which is deeperwelltherapy.com. That's a good place to reach out. What else? What else? Um, do people want my email address?
Sure.
Yeah, you can. Sure, why not? You can email me, Annalise, Annalise, at deeperwelltherapy.com. Um, yeah, that's a good way to book a consultation call or an appointment. And I have my own podcast called A Life of Expression that's on Spotify. So you can check that out. I have a Substack called Nightjar Press. And yeah, you can check out my book, Heal Your Witch Wound, my TEDx talk, TEDx Borrowdale, How Erotic Dance Helps You Find Your Way Forward. Um, and I have another book coming out soon. So
Out here. Listen, honey buns and breadcrumbs. That's what you're giving out.
yeah.
Honey buns and
I'm like,
breadcrumbs.
wait, what else?
Listen,
There's more.
y'all
There's
got
more.
there's always more. So start small. Start small. Annalise has everything for you. Start small. Start with a breadcrumb. Start with something um, where you're comfortable at or even uncomfortable at, and just work your way up.
Yeah.
You are a blessing. You are a gift. Okay. And
Oh,
thank you
you
for cooking
are.
because now we're finna go upstairs, get our champagne in order to get on this yacht. And on the yacht, it's warm, it's covered, it's comfort, secure. And now we get a little personal. And I'm curious to know if you could share with the listeners something about you that people don't know and they wouldn't believe. Like they couldn't believe you did what? You would, huh? What? So what's that thing about you that a lot of people just don't know?
Oh, I've been skydiving and I have a rescue dog named Gigi who I love so much. Um, who's a doll. But yeah, what would be surprising to know about me? Hmm. I have four brothers and no sisters.
Okay. All right. I
Mhm.
love it. Thank you. Thank you for allowing us in with this
Yeah.
champagne or water. We got water in a champagne glass. Okay. We keeping it going. So if you could share a word, a phrase, a memory, or a moment that has stuck with you personally or professionally, what would it be?
Huh. Hmm. Okay. Okay, this phrase came out in a session with a client the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I have to post that somewhere. It's just perfect." It was, um, good things happen when you close the door on situations that are not honoring your worth.
Ooh, wee. Hope y'all wrote that down. If you missed it, pause, rewind 30 seconds and hit
Yes,
that and write it down somewhere that you can see it. This
yeah,
to anybody listening, especially
it's
you that
magic.
haven't gone to the movies by yourself yet and you grown with kids. Yes, you.
Yes, yes.
Yes, you. I be calling
Try
folks in. I be calling them in. I don't call people out. I call them in. Okay. And
it.
they know who they are and they will let me know at a later time. So
Yes.
we moving. We moving. I'm curious to know because you've seen a lot, you've done a lot, you've experienced a lot of different types of people from a lot of different places. I'm curious to know from birth to where you are now, what would you say you've learned about people and what have you learned about yourself?
What have I learned about people? Oh, often the outwardly observable behavior of people, no matter who they are and no matter how they're behaving, is their unconscious strategy for how to attain unconditional love.
Mm,
So, no matter what they're doing, on some unconscious level, some part of them believes this is how I can get love.
wow. 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 That's for somebody. Hey, if that's for you, y'all go ahead and hit the cash app. Okay. If this is if this a blessing, pay it forward. My cash app, Annalise cash app, somebody cash app. It ain't got to be neither one of ours, but pay it
Yeah.
forward to somebody. Okay.
Yeah.
So last thing is life work. On this
Mhm.
show, I don't offer homework. Homework, you take it home, you do it, you never remember it, it don't matter. Life work, you take it home, you do it, you can pivot, you can shift. And to me, you can change your life at any moment by
Yeah.
shifting, pivoting. So if you were to offer something to the listeners to allow them to pivot, do something different, to become somebody different, what would it be?
Mm. Mm. If you want to know how to let love lead in your own life, a really simple way to start is just by asking yourself every moment of every day, if you can, what would someone who loved themselves do?
Whew. Whew, whew, whew.
Even if it seems like a silly
Ah,
decision or a big decision or a little one, um, what would someone who loved themselves do? And
mm.
you don't have to identify right now as someone who loves themselves, but through that practice over time, you'll become someone who does. You'll build neural pathways that support a self-loving way to live and being led by love. And it's not being selfish, it's not, putting yourself in front of other people. It's treating yourself the way a loving parent would treat you. And because you're doing that, you're able to be more of service and truly loving to others. So it's different from being selfish, and that's letting love lead. So I have to say,
I need you to know this real quick. I usually kick people out of the show that come in here and do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, kick people off the show. Call Uber, Lyft, somebody, get you out of here. Like you are, you just save somebody's life. Like again, this
oh,
is just how you live. This is your norm. But there's people who's never heard this before. There's people who don't know that people like you exist. People like us
mm,
exist. People don't
mm,
know that you can live the life that you're talking about because what I heard you say was that love is her, all caps, him, all caps, them,
mm,
all caps,
mhm, mhm.
where I am authentically me and this is who I am because I said so, because
Yeah,
I discovered who I am. And you're given so many breadcrumbs for people to eat in order to
yeah.
wake up in Panera.
Yes, red velvet cake crumbs.
Come on. We went from honey buns to red velvet cake run, which is my favorite cake. I have you
Me
know.
too.
Listen, okay, I need you to see two parallels real quick. These are two. I need you to give me the third one. And this is happening in real time, y'all. First parallel, you mentioned your dog name, Gigi. That's my mom's grandmother name. Like she's a
Oh,
grandmother and she don't want to be called grandma. So the boys call her Gigi. That's number one, parallel. Number
oh,
two, red velvet cake. Me and my son's favorite dessert of all time. We just had red velvet cake pops yesterday. They gonna make a
oh,
multi-million dollar
the Valentine's
toddler
one.
business on selling cake pops. Red Velvet is our number one product.
Those are good.
Those two parallels. So let me ask you, what's the third parallel?
The
What's the
third
connection?
parallel.
Since our conversation, what's that third connection that we have?
Hmm. Hmm. We both think there should be a jacuzzi on the yacht.
Come on. Come on. Yes. What are we wearing on this yacht?
Hmm. A ball gown.
Come on. I already had the tux. I'm tuxed up. I look like a penguin out here, the flyest penguin of all time. My tails is to the floor of the hardwood right next to the jacuzzi. Come on, Annalise. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. So before we get out of here, again, I told you we can be here for 3 hours. So now I want the listeners, the viewers, to see us as we sail off on the sunset. All you can see is whatever name is on the back of this yacht and the ripples that's coming from this boat leaving because this is coming to a close. Are there any final thoughts, words of wisdom, anything you want to share, to give, or to leave with the listeners before we go? This is our
Hmm.
toast to you all.
My toast to you all. I hope the new year brings you all your heart desires and and most especially the feeling of what your heart desires. And hmm. Oh, I had it. It was at the tip of my tongue and now I'm losing it. Maybe there's a reason for that. I want to
Hmm.
Oh, here's what it is. Um I would say if you are called to work with these medicines, if you can find a context that honors the sacredness of the medicines, you don't have to travel all the way to Peru. I think there are really great, ethical, knowledgeable practitioners around who might be nearby. So you don't need to trek into the middle of the jungle. But I think that sacred context is so important. Um, and Yeah, I could say more about that, but I know we're at time.
I appreciate you. Thank you. On the show, we also give flowers, and on
Oh,
this boat, it's just ripples of rose petals because you deserve all the flowers.
oh,
You,
thank you.
I mean this. You are a special soul. You're a special gem. I appreciate you for
Oh.
blessing me, blessing us with just you. You didn't know me. You didn't know anything about me. I could be the guy that's chasing you in that dark parking deck. I could have been that all in your DMs, but you led with love and you were able to receive love. And that's how we ended up here. And it wasn't that long ago. And these are the moments that I'm teaching and I'm showing and I'm modeling the greatness of spirituality, connection, humanism, and authenticity. Like we're both exuding that energy. That's why we kind of magnetize and attract to each other, which all of us will attract our destination helper. And that's who you are to me, and I am to you. And this
Oh,
happened in a way that we couldn't have prepared for, but we were prepared for. That's
yes.
a bar. Somebody do something with that. So, as we close out, thank you for being you. You are phenomenal. You are everything. I
Oh.
want to share you with the world. Hey, listen, y'all got access now, okay? Y'all got access. It ain't gonna be forever because she going up, okay? And yesterday's price is not today's price. This has been an episode of Three Parallels Podcast with your host, the brother Dr. Jason Branch, where we rediscover who we were, we embrace who we are, and we make room for who we're trying to become. If that is you, you are in the right place. If this episode has did anything to you in any way, shape, or form, fashion, if you sweat, if you farted, that means it was for you because it's honest, it's real, it makes you
Yes.
move, it makes you sweat. And if you did, that means there's somebody you need to talk to, who you used to be, who you're trying to become. And once you start having conversation with those two individuals, who you are now will not be confused,
Mm.
unsure, indecisive, insecure. Once you become who you're designed to be, him, her, or them, then you never have to question or ask anything because you will attract it all. That is it.
Mhm.
That is all. Good night.